I am so pro whooping.
Even the way you say whooping sounds like what the slave master used to do.
Golly.
Whooping.
I just say lashing.
They're interchangeable. I'm from the South. I know these things. You want to rephrase your question now?
No.
Okay.
You know, everyone right now is sensitive. You know, and it's a cultural change for a lot of us.
Yeah.
You know, pro-life.
And I don't think the term is sensitive. I think that's where like people are like, I hate when people are like, all these people are sensitive, where it's like you said, culture is changing, and it's just like, hey, we're making you hyper aware. While the culture is changing, this is a prime time to let me show you another example of what a problem is. So the term isn't sensitive. It's just like the timing. This is the times that we're in.
Well, the whole cancel culture thing, right?
Cancel is not a culture.
The whole cancel culture thing. It is. Imagine having a lifestyle. How white people was gracefully using nigga. You know, black people was gracefully. Everybody would say straight people were gracefully using the F word, FAG.
We know what that.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's different F words. So, you know, and how, you know, it was a lot of derogatory terms for other races and stuff. And then all of a sudden, like, you find out that these are offensive. And it was like, man, that was something we always did.
But you knew, like, as a kid, you knew the F word as a term. Yes, like, it was used as a slanderous term to call somebody, like, effeminate a lot of times. Or when they did something, like, it was...
No. As a child, it was a word that we never thought it as like literally homosexual. We looked at it as like, you're stupid. Not the actual.
But I'm saying you knew it was a derogatory term. Stupid
Right.
is not a nice word either.
Right.
So, but you knew it was a little bit harsher. Like, as a kid, absolutely, you might not want to admit it. Like, it might not have been like, I'm trying to be slanderous to this one group of people, but you knew it wasn't a nice word.
We can cancel anybody for any word. We can all of a sudden say we don't like the word black, and if you use black again.
No, so this is the thing. Like, cancel culture is not new. Like, I saw this meme that put it perfectly. Like, in the 90s, the more conservative people were doing what was called canceling. Like, I know people that straight up couldn't watch Sesame Street, couldn't use Johnson and Johnson, or like, it was like different things, that anything that felt like it was of the devil, burning whole books. Like, I remember not the Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe, A Wrinkle in Time was banned in school libraries. Like, it was like so many things, like people just canceled it. But we didn't use the word cancel culture, but it was consistently happening throughout. This isn't like, there are books that were banned. Like, there was a whole period of time where alcohol couldn't be used. Like, people cancel everything.
Right, but it's like something that we've all used. Most people used, and all of a sudden, a majority is like, that right there is offensive. Like, I get it, but it's a thin line between, like, come on, man, like the whole thing with Pepe Le Pew, and then like they haven't canceled Miss Piggy.
Listen.
Or Monique's character on the Parkers.
I mean, and if you wanted to, you could. You know what I'm saying? You could start that if you wanted to. Like, people cancel who they know. Like, hey, by the way, I was watching Looney Tunes, and this Pepe Le Pew character is crazy. They just haven't gotten to the Muppets. You know what I'm saying? How many people were actually watching the Parkers, like, in this grand scheme of things? So, I mean, like, it's pointing out, like, the pendulum is going to swing. So, because for so long it's been on the side of, like, oppression and microaggressions and, like, inequality for so long. And now that the pendulum is swinging, for balance sake, it's going to go to the complete opposite side. And people, we just got to get this, like, you know, it's going to happen. And there's nothing wrong with people respecting people and their feelings or learning more about it. Engaging in it is engaging in those conversations are the only way that we're going to learn. Mm-hmm. Like you said, as kids, you didn't know that was an offensive term to an entire group of people. But now you do. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, you have to go through that learning process in order for it to happen. And a lot of times, this type of change offends people because it's like, some people are like, you can find offense in everything, but it's like certain things being perpetuated all this time. It's so part of your everyday life, or so ingrained in our everyday lives, that it makes us uncomfortable to think about having to change those things. And that's where people get frustrated, and that's when you call people snowflakes or get mad at the so-called cancel culture.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. And she just dropped the bomb. Why are you halfway in the camera? What's happening?
I can't see myself.
Even there?
I can't see myself. Like, I'm covered by the camera.
You know why you can't see yourself? Because you took your glasses off.
No, because I'm covered by this camera.
Look, it's another camera right there.
I was going to say this earlier.
What?
Although you get on my nerves. I think, like, and I don't have to come to your defense ever in life because you're a grown man and you kind of like controversy, I think.
I do like controversy, though.
But, like, I think, like, you post stuff and it ruffles feathers and people might think that you're this horrible person. Really?
People think I'm horrible?
I'm saying, like, there's people who comment on your page who is, like, fully ready to cancel you.
Really?
They think you're... Why are you, like, making this surprise?
Oh. No, I know. So for those who don't know me, I do like opening up dialogue. I do like conversation. I am a open, funny, love to laugh, love to joke. Most of the time, I don't even comment on what you guys are saying under my actual comment. If I see that it's working on another page with a lot of comment, dialogue, back and forth, I put it on my page just to drive traffic to my page because eventually, right up under there, I'll have something that I'm promoting.
Oh, so this is your social media tactic.
Well, you know.
Should I try this? Post something controversial?
And then, because when people look for it, they will see that we have merch. They see that we have a movie that's coming out. You know, you got to figure out ways to get traffic to your page.
So what I was saying is that you're not like just this evil person.
And I'm very open. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I say I admit it. I'm sorry. But you know, even if I believe in a stance on something that I stand behind and the crowd disagrees, I will just be like, okay, all right, because I see that it's not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. I know when to bow out.
You know what you didn't bow out of, though?
What?
When we were talking about Kurt Franklin and parenting styles. Yep. And how, like, I don't necessarily believe that spanking should be our options. And you don't always agree with me on that. But can I just say something?
No.
I'm going to say it anyway. Nanny Fran. Have you ever watched that show?
Yep.
She does it.
She whips the children?
No, she doesn't whip the children. She shows the most patience. I guess, like, she takes... A lot of times, sometimes she'll resort to taking something away from the child that they were looking forward to or really love after numerous warnings. Mm-hmm. And that works. it takes patience. And of course, I'm not a mom, so I can't speak on this. But I like to think like there's other ways that we can.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like not only should spanking be an extreme, it should be like, I mean, that's a lot of times for people a human resort, but yeah.
But I also think it comes from how much your child has walked over you. If you ingrain in them early in the game and let them know that who's the boss, they won't even come to you like that. If your child is telling you to shut up, that lets you know that you have been compromised. Your parenting has been compromised, and now you have to negotiate with them to love them.
What if people are like, oh, I believe my kids should have a freedom of expression, so of course they could say shut up.
No. I don't like disrespectful children because all they're gonna do is gonna grow up to be disrespectful humans. They're going to be irate. Like I don't believe in whoopings,
Either way,
spankings, until it gets to the point of my boiling point of like 3-4 warnings of like I this is a repeated offense and it's time for your capital punishment.
Question: what is your capital punishment? That's horrible. What is your like techniques or like to talk? Do you just?
I used to go backhand.
No,
I used to go
before we get there. Like, is it just a stern like, hey, I said don't do that, or
no? The first one is the ignorance of you don't know about this. So hey, next time you do this, this is going to happen. Obviously, you see what happens. I will help you fix, clean, get it in order because obviously you don't know about this. Secondly, it's like, hey, didn't I just tell you about, remember what happened? Now you have to clean this up. Now you have to fix this. Now you have to understand this. Third time is like, okay, now you pushing my buttons. Now you realize you're assuming that there's no consequences to your actions. Now I have to either remove something from you, punish you. Something has to happen for you to realize like when this happened, I lose this. And then the third is like, okay, now I have to give you pain for that to be a memory associated with this incident.
like? I'm not judging. I'm just saying.
Yes, you are judging.
I
You shrugged your shoulder.
I had
and
nothing
gave
to
me
add to that.
The judge eye.
I had nothing to add to that. Like, I haven't been in that situation, so I can't speak on it.
Yeah, imagine doing that with an adult. I'm sure. Imagine doing that with an adult. They're realizing that you keep telling them to do something and they keep doing the opposition.
So you saying that's why Kirk went off?
I will break your neck.
That was.
I'm all for it, man. Obviously, he wasn't gonna break his neck, but that's. Imagine somebody say, whatever. It's like, do I have to trump what you're trying to mock me as? Of course, there's a bunch of scriptures about saying if you argue with the fool, you lose every time. But it's like, this is my child. You after everything I've done for you, I've given you the world. It's like, I'm trying to help you and you're mocking me. And it's like, I have to let you know that.
Yeah, so, I mean, like, I said.
We don't know the story.
We don't know the story. We weren't there. But
I was there.
Oh, my bad. And so my question is, like, is this a repeated, like, is this their relationship? And I feel like it is because Home Dude chose to record it.
Right.
He chose to be like, and now my dad's going to go off.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah. And I honestly, like, hey, like, his son got him there. You have gotten me hot before. Mm-hmm. If you don't know, Dion and I are really good friends and business partners. And he is the only person who can press my buttons. No, I take that back. I've added a few more this year. But you're on the top. You are at the top. But yeah, so I know that humanly you could get there and get upset. So all these people who are like talking about Kirk is a narcissist and he wouldn't treat daughters this way. Like, there's so many think pieces. How do you write a think piece on like a sentence? Like, you weren't there. Yeah. Like, people are breaking it down like he's a narcissist, or this just proves how black fathers are tougher on men than they are their daughters. And I'm like, how did you get all that from this one piece? We don't know the true story. Let Lifetime do the movie before we start judging. However, I like, it was, what got me was how people were defending Kirk. Like, yeah, you know, my parents used to beat me. Extension cord, baseball bats, high heel shoes, like whatever. Like, they were, and I was like, oh man, yo, do you not hear the language of abuse? That sounds like it might not happen often. It might have been only when you were, you know, bad, but like that justification just sounds like, hey, my people, let's take a step back. Let's think about this. And this is a cycle we really want to like continue perpetuating. I know it comes from slavery. I know where it started from, and I know the goal of it, but like, we already need therapy for so many other things. Do we just want to add to it?
Yeah. But your perspective is coming from a house that didn't use that tactic of whippings and whoopings.
And we all turned out fine.
Right. Right. So, but there's, you know, we all turned out fine from both.
I mean, some people got some anger issues. There are studies that show that kids who, not just beat like in the abusive sense, but whooped, tend to be more aggressive. And that's not necessarily a good thing.
I mean, I think that's somebody who's trying to make a point. Things like, please don't whoop the children. 9 out of 10 children who gets whooped, they just created that just to kind of make people feel uncomfortable.
They made you feel uncomfortable?
Yes. I'm all for it. It's like one of those things. I don't know, man. I'm fine either way, and I know where it came from. But I think even adults, not even children, if an adult pushes your button and you have no other choice but to, like, I have to defend myself or strike this person to have some sort of self-defense. Like if a child rushes in and slams your laptop and it starts laughing, you can't be like, ha 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 ha, go to your room. It's like, dude, this is my moneymaker.
I mean, you can. It's a choice. Oh, I'm just, you know, conversation.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
But imagine if you are on a project.
I mean, I have not denied human nature once in this whole conversation.
It's just like the heat of the moment.
I have not denied that once.
We know how religious Kirk Franklin is. You couldn't tell me in the heat of the moment he could have been like, yeah, as you said, you can. He could have definitely like,
he could have just hung up.
Psalms. No, he's making a point. I'm trying to talk to my son.
But okay, Dion, you're making a point. You're saying it like I have not kept saying. I understand we are all humans. We all get pushed to that point. I even admitted being pushed to that point. And I'm saying that, like, in that, I mean, heavy meditation helps. Just keep breathing. But also, like, I mean, you have a choice. Like, or because it's like with your kids, especially kids. I'm not talking about a grown man at this point. Especially your kids. Like, these are little humans that you are shaping. So
he's a little human.
I said I'm not talking about grown men at this point. I literally just said that. Were you listening?
Nope.
That shows.
That shows?
Yes. This is also our friendship. Like, I talk and Dion be like, so what about, and I be like, I swear I just answered that.
So what are you saying? What's the spoil?
I'm just saying, like, I think at the end, if we all work on ourselves as adults, you know, like, yes, our buttons will be pressed, and yes, we will lose our cool. But I don't think, like, spanking should not, or whooping should not be something that you do when you lose your cool. Because if you lose your cool on your kid, that whooping is going to be a little bit different than you were saying earlier as just a disciplinary action to show.
This should be the opening questionnaire for this particular portion of the show. I'm asking you guys in the comments below, are you pro whooping or anti whooping?
Thank you for joining us for our first episode of Random Ass Conversations.
Rack.
Or Rack. Be sure to like and subscribe to Lacktoast Entertainment. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week.